Today I had a talk with Dawn. If you guys don't know, Dawn is on Beautypioneers with me. We have started this. We are two licensed hairstylists that are passionate about helping our Black women, our community, when it comes to the beauty world. And we were having this discussion because I was telling her about some of the consultations that I've been having. To be honest, 90% of the consultations that I have been having where I'm realizing, and I said, I don't know, it's almost like starting Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist. It's kind of like, I don't, if you guys can identify with me, it's kind of like, I know I'm supposed to start something and you start doing these videos and eventually you will understand your purpose and what you're supposed to be doing in service to help your community. Because that was something big, you know, because a lot of times I kept focusing on my issues, my problems. And as normal, God say, no, focus on help somebody else. Your stuff will work itself out. And so that's really what's been happening, teaching me how to be service, to be give service and to be selfless. And I was telling Dawn, I was like, it's almost like things are happening around us. And I think that the hairstylists are the last to know. So the video is about why Black women are, and we talked about it on the live, but this is a little bit more in depth, real quick. It's the reason why women are no longer, they're learning the same skill sets that Black hairstylists are doing, and they're taking it in their hands and they're doing it themselves. And I was explaining to her, I said, certain things that you may not want to do, the client is already doing. I'm not talking about chemicals because I will never, you know, I'm not speaking about chemicals. I'm talking about certain things. You know what? I am speaking about chemicals. I'm the person that's going to talk to you about the things. It's like, no, we can't talk about that. We're going to have to talk about it because it's happening, right? So I said to her that, you know, some women are cutting their own hair. Some women are doing their own chemicals. And when I asked, how long have you been doing this yourself? 5 years, 6 years, 7 years, 10 years. I've been stopped. I'm not dealing with them anymore. I'm tired. And so we're going to talk about a couple of reasons why, which y'all know a lot of it. I thought personally, I was like, well, you know, the economy is not doing so good. You got the shutdown and stuff. And then I had all these consultations and none of the women, all professionals, some not, you know, was doing their thing, stay-at-home moms or whatnot, right? But all of them had no problem in the economic world. So I was like, oh, because I was giving it that excuse. But then when I stepped back and I looked back, I said, well, Lee, they actually have been doing this for years. It's only because you're pushing your videos and educating them that they're now coming to you saying, hey, you're right. The method is wrong. My hair isn't difficult. And so I'm teaching you, and Dawn is teaching you, we're teaching you how to learn about your hair, take care of your hair, with still being able to do all those things you want to do. You want to wear your wigs, you can. You want to do your lace wigs, whatever the case may be, your extensions, that's fine. But take care of you first. That is really the foundation of Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist, right? So I know a lot of times that hairstylists think like, oh, she's just using us to, you know, to come down. But I'm in the bracket. I'm not in the same category as you, but I'm trying to understand why. And now when I look at it, I'm like, women been doing it all along, right? So we're going to go ahead and talk about why they're doing it all along. And they're doing everything. And let's make it clear. Now, we all know we could do a little something when we was growing up, especially here in Miami. We had girls that knew how to cut hair. They probably weren't doing it the correct way, but they can cut some stacks, right? We have girls that knew how to relax hair. They wasn't doing it the correct way, but they was slaying some hair, right? So, and don't forget that video I showed you, I posted today on Slay Now, Cry Later, all right, part 1 and 2. But those things, we already know how to do hair. We definitely know how to style hair. A lot of women that say they're natural hairstylists, that's who they are. They are the women that were in the kitchen, that was on the porch in the hood or whatnot, and they were doing hair. So they just transferred it over to a salon suite or whatnot, if they're not a licensed cosmetologist where they went to school for it. It's not a downplay. It's just that is the reality. See, we don't want to talk about it. We'll go into rooms and talk about it when we come from the salon, complain and talk about it to our husbands, to our friends, call on the phone, girl, I got to find me somebody else. We'll do that. But we got to really talk about the source and the reasons behind it. So let's make this real quick. So we understand it is really not financial. I know they did the whole, I was thinking about it, I said, dang, they had this whole thing about the boycott against, because black women had lost their jobs, and it was like, let's support the black business. And that was great. But really, I don't think the black women really understand. You guys are actually really boycotting the BS all the way across the board. You like, we're not dealing with it. Now, some of the things we already know, you have trust issues. Every woman that I spoke to that I did consultations with this weekend, every one of those ladies said they have no trust and they had trauma stories in history. So that is the catalyst to why things have shifted. And as I talked to Dawn, I said, Dawn, there's still going to be women that's going to come into the salon, and I still have to recommend to these ladies certain things. You have to go into the salon and find a licensed cosmetologist that can assist you. You can't do it. You understand? You can't do a real cut. You cannot, you know what I mean? It's certain things you just can't do, right? Because they don't understand the fundamentals of a good cut, a good color, dimensional color, all those different things, right? So you can't, and I can't teach you that. That's not something you learn overnight, over the phone, right? Over Zoom. But they are going to do it. They have been doing it. That's why we have all these DIYs where these girls, these influencers that are showing you about hair. That's why showing you how to get this hairstyle, half wig hairstyle, crochet hairstyle. That's all on this YouTube. That's all on TikTok. That's all on these different things. That's why you have now celebrities that the business is not going so well on TV. So guess what they turn into? They're turning to hair products, right? They're catching on to the beauty world, which is a $1 billion industry. So black women are like, hey, I'm going to go this route and I'm going to figure things out on my own without having to deal with the BS that goes on in an everyday salon, and without having to deal with the nasty attitude, uneducated women that want to call themselves a hairstylist but have no work ethic, have no character a lot of times, and just the bad business. And because they refuse to learn and get the skill set so they can cater to their clients, the clients taking things into their own hands. All right. So it's definitely trauma, missed appointments, hair damage, disrespect, lack of professionalism, growing desire of safety when it comes to the hair care. They don't feel safe. They don't feel like you know what you're doing a lot of times. And a lot of times, a lot of these hairstylists don't, because when that shift came where they were like, hey, even in Florida, you don't even have to be licensed to do natural hair. You don't have, before they had the natural, they just sick of it because the natural hairstylists was doing what they wanted to do regardless, right? And I'm not knocking just them, because we have a lot of cosmetologists that may have the license, but they refuse to do the continuing education. So they're no different from those that are not licensed. So I want that to be clear, right? Rising prices. Y'all rise prices based on what's going on in your household. People tired of that. Hidden fees, new rules. The video I talked about where the girl said you can't bring your purse inside her salon, the hairstylist salon suite. You can't be on your phone, but she on her phone. It's like the rules are ridiculous, or they're going to charge you a fee for that. DIY is seen as cost effective, empowering. So that's the economics. The DIYs are more effective. Oh, that's all I got to order? Oh, I'll order that off of Amazon. Everything has become right at the consumer's fingertips. So it's slowly but surely pushing you out, right? Health and hair loss awareness. Now women are being educated, like my channel, right? Like Beautypioneers channel, where we are educating women on traction alopecia, chemical damages, product toxicity. We are educating. That is what women want. Healing begins at home. All right. Salon experience has declined. No wash included. That was a big thing. When I came back to Miami, I'm like, why are you not washing hair? Oh, I ain't got time for that. They better have it blow dried. I thought that was the epitome of disrespect to the beauty world and for black women, because there is no, I'm going to tell you this. You cannot walk into another race of salon and tell them they better come in with their hair wash. A haircut starts, for a men haircut, started at that time $45 bucks. That's including their wash. Women, the same thing. Not even the Walmart, the Smart Style in Walmart, you cannot deny them to wash their hair. But in the Black community, that's what we're doing. And guess what? The consumer was accepting it. So the decline in washing included. Bring your own product. I say, wait a minute. Only time you bring a product is if you went to a doctor, a dermatologist, or trichologist, and they had said, this is what tell your hairstylist, this is what needs to happen in her process as she services you today. That's the only product. Nobody should be bringing their own products. Another hood, ghetto mentality. You don't like what I'm saying? Scroll on. Because if you come in my comments and I catch it, I'm going to say something. All right, stylists prioritizing quick styles over hair health. That's why they're doing it. If she can do, and they have empowerment through these videos, through learning the skill sets. They're like, oh, that's all I got to do. They're learning through, like I said, the YouTube and all those different things, right? So if they're saying if she can do it, she don't even have a license. Why can't I? I can. I probably do a better job than she does, right? Reclaiming time, control, and culture. I don't have to go and sit in no salon for 8 and 9 hours. I can do this within 2 hours, right? So I don't need that. Encourage stylists, clients to build a healthier ecosystem. They want respect. Clients want respect. Hairstylists want respect. Education. Clients want to be educated on what you're doing. What's the outcome of everything? Be transparent in your service. Y'all wasn't transparent in your service. And the expectations. Don't lie to them and tell them you can do it because you need a bill paid. Tell her the truth. Ma'am, you are not a great candidate for this particular hairstyle. Your hair is very fine. I would recommend this style. You're scared to turn them down because a lot of you can't do it because you don't have the skill set to even understand the texture of someone's hair, to understand that that particular style they probably can't do. And it's okay. You just have to find an alternative. All right? So with that being said, that is the reason why clients are now taking back their power. And I know it upsets a lot of you, but either you're going to step up or you're going to step to the side. I am your virtual hairstylist, Ask a Licensed Cosmetologist, right? So this is the information that I'm getting. I love those one-on-ones. If you want a one-on-one, please go ahead. The link will be at the bottom. If you are a licensed cosmetologist, maybe you have just started out, that I had created a book. It is on Amazon. I will post the link there as well. That book is about how to become a Black successful cosmetologist in this beauty world, right? And grow and you can make money, right? We have millionaire hairstylists. Why can't you? So this is not just for one side, but we got to understand and we got to communicate. I pray that this video blesses you. Ladies, thank you for encouraging me in the comments of the other videos and telling me and thanking me for producing these videos. They come from the heart. They truly come from, I ask God to speak to me, and then I bring that out to you guys. I pray that it blesses you, and I pray that we all learn to grow together and to build this community. But we're going to grow with or without you. All right? See you next video. Bye.